to the news on Clear Air FM. A small line on Monday's House of Lords order paper could have enormous consequences for public land. Among the week's business is an amendment to the Local Government Act of 1972 that could undo a Supreme Court ruling and sweep away long-standing legal duties protecting parks, greens and recreation grounds. It would rewrite the law retrospectively, erasing the obligation on councils to hold public land in trust for local people. It would make past transfers that were ruled unlawful suddenly lawful. It would hand private developers and the powerful institutions behind them the comfort of knowing the courts can no longer stand in their way. The timing and sponsorship tell a story. The first name on the amendment is Lord O'Donnell, once the country's most senior civil servant, now a board member of the All England Lawn Tennis Club. His club's controversial plan to expand into protected parkland at Wimbledon has been stalled by the very kind of legal restriction this amendment would remove. Thousands of families had their child benefit payments suspended based on flawed travel data that wrongly flagged one-way trips abroad, triggering legal experts to say HMRC more than likely breached privacy laws. More than 23,000 households were caught up in the crackdown, but by 31st of October, only 1,979 payments had been reinstated. Will pension tax perks be the next big raid under Rachel Reeves? The Chancellor is reportedly targeting salary sacrifice pension schemes and tax reliefs in her upcoming budget, changes that could generate up to £4 billion for the Treasury while hitting everyday savers. Workers on around £35,000 a year who pay just 5% into their pension could lose roughly £210 a year, and over 3 million ordinary taxpayers would be hit. The government pledges no tax rises for working people, yet their methods to raise revenue certainly are taxing on working people. Will digital ID be the next Horizon scandal? The government says digital ID will streamline everyday life, yet many of the services it claims to improve already function without any issues. Outages like we keep seeing across the tech world daily would freeze daily activity instead of smoothing it. Support for the policy is thin, and the justification for it keeps changing, while concerns over data security and centralized control continue to grow. The case for digital ID remains weak. The case against it gets stronger every day. The European Central Bank has confirmed it's pressing ahead with plans for a digital euro, describing the proposed central bank digital currency as a symbol of trust in our common destiny. Unelected ECB President Christine Lagarde said the currency would sit alongside cash, with full rollout expected as early as 2029, pending legislation. An appeals court in Wisconsin has dismissed a defamation lawsuit filed by a teacher against a mother who publicly criticized the teacher as woke. The ruling asserts that terms like woke are too vague to constitute statements of fact, meaning they cannot form the basis of defamation. The mother, who was active in the organization Moms for Liberty, said the outcome is a win for free speech and empowers other parents to question school policies without fear of legal retaliation. Rachel Reeves is warning of a bleak budget outlook after the UK's productivity forecasts were sharply downgraded. Economists say that unless growth miraculously picks up, the government will soon face a choice between hiking income tax, despite Labour's election promise, or imposing even deeper cuts to public services. Reeves says she wants to, quote, change the trajectory, but the numbers point to a painful budget ahead. Thank you for tuning in to Clear Air FM News. I'm Janita, keeping you informed with today's top stories.